on education, training, and research on sustainability. This organization has been approved by the United Nations in 2008, and it engages the Universities of Saskatchewan, U of R, Polytechnique, all the regionals, of course the ministries and whatever in relationship to that. I'm handing out a handout, and I'll refer to that at the very end of my presentation. Jared talked about hope just now, and I look at you people and I see hope. That's exactly what I see. This evening, the City Council will vote on the proposed renewable strategy, city strategy, which would provide a roadmap for fueling our city 100% through renewable energy sources by 2050. Like a fishbowl, and I consider Regina as a fishbowl for the world to see. The city has the opportunity to demonstrate that it understands the importance of sustaining the economic and physical health and well-being of all its citizens over the long term by moving forward with a renewable energy plan that benefits all. Why is it important? For one, it's a huge economic opportunity. The Renewable City Strategy motion being put forward has the potential to become a staple of Regina's and Saskatchewan's economy alongside crucial staples like potash and agriculture. Experts have predicted that by 2030, there will be as many as 24 million jobs worldwide in renewable energy. There are already almost 10 million. Shouldn't we be the forefront of this action? And the research is there to prove that. Plus, we are a home to a university, a polytechnique, numerous strong economic development engines, and the home base of the provincial government. Local organizations like Economic Development Regina, the Chamber of Commerce, and a host of nonprofits could help activate the economic research, training, and technology potential behind becoming a renewable energy leader in Western Canada, and as far as I'm concerned, the world. The City of Regina's size and people offer a perfect living laboratory to see such a strategy come to life. This would be a transformational step, reinforcing the power of thinking local to global and the importance of doing what is sensible and morally right for future generations, right here in the city. So why is it important that we seize this opportunity now? Simply put, now is the time we choose to be a leader, not a laggard. The world is moving towards renewable energy and greater energy efficiencies, as you've heard. There's also a moral imperative to create a safer, healthier world for the future generations. Just take a good look at the latest UN climate report, October 8th, and you'll get a sense of the dire situation in which the entire planet finds itself. Governments at all levels need to take serious steps towards mitigating and adapting to the effects of climate change. This can sit on the back burner no longer. It's all about taking action to sustain the well-being of our citizens, and for that matter, all living things over the long term. In other words, Regina's commitment to becoming a renewable city would contribute to the current and urgent provincial, federal, and international efforts to reduce climate change while growing clean energy jobs and economic opportunity. Such move will also reinforce the importance we place in ensuring a sustainable future for our children's children. This is Regina's chance to be bold and forthright in positioning itself, its workers, and its citizens as energy and climate leaders. A renewable city strategy would allow the city to extend its focus on sustainability by embracing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Thank you. And tapping into the wealth of knowledge and experience that exists just outside City Hall. I'm aware of about 10 municipal governments in Canada that have adopted similar strategies. We'll just talk about Vancouver, Victoria, Nelson, BC, the District of Kootenay, Canmore, Banff, Guelph, Oxford, and I'm sure others. And I'll mention Churchbridge, right in our province, who's moving their local people to be looking at sustainable
We're going to have to
opportunities.
stop you, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
It's
Hey,
just
that's
fine.
fine.
I apologize for that.
That's fine.
Those are the rules, as I have to enforce them. So, questions of the delegation? Councilor Young.
Thank you, Your Worship. Mr. Pickard, thank you. I don't think I ever called you Mr. Pickard. I just called you Garth.
That's right.
Very formal.
That's nice to be here, Bob.
So you gave us a handout. Would you talk briefly about the handout?
Yeah. This
So when most people think of sustainable development and what we're talking about tonight, do you think they know that all of these are part of sustainable development?
Very good question. I think because the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are such that because they're numbered, number 17 isn't as important as number 1. And actually, all 17 are inextricably linked and equitable. And so when we look at all of these Sustainable Development Goals, we understand that all of them play a major role in the long-term sustainability of the planet.
Okay, because do you think most people think peace, justice, and strong institutions are part of sustainable goals when you talk about it? Because we've been talking about energy.
Right. Well, I think that strong peace, justice, strong institutions are critically important. In other words, social justice, ecological justice are married together. And institutions have to probably reorient the way they do education, training, and research to engage these goals.
Okay. And could you just briefly tell us a little bit about RCE, what it stands for, and the kind of work you do, and have you ever worked with the city before?
Great. Actually, the United Nations University Regional Center was established by the United Nations to convey around the world the work done through Rio 92, Rio Plus 20, and all the work towards the goals of the Sustainable Development Goals. Regina and Saskatchewan are very fortunate to be the 8th regional center on this planet in 2008. And this regional center played a major role in helping other centers develop. Currently, there's 147 centers that are linked to the U of R Regional Center of Expertise, not the U of R, but the RCE Saskatchewan. The interesting thing is that this fishbowl that we're talking as the city of Regina is viewed around the world as to what we're doing within our own regions to address sustainability. And what a better place, what a better fishbowl with all our fish here to be to be able to do the right thing and move forward in this way.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Young. Councilor Massanelli.
Thank you for the presentation. I hate to be simple. I understand the 17 UN goals. I understand the basis of your presentation, and I agree with a lot of the context of it. But what I don't understand is the meme on the start in front of your presentation, and I have to ask while you're here because it's bugging me now. You have to explain that one.
This, and you can use this, by the way, if you wish, later on. Just show these people. Okay. All right, this young lady is walking, and actually a young man is walking the other way. Pretty simple. And all of a sudden they cross each other, and the young lady has an idea. And as she's walking again, she goes, "Hi." And the young man goes, "Hi? Like do you call me?" And then the young lady says, "Sorry if this is weird, but do you like flying kites?" Now the question I ask all the counselors today and your worship, what happened next? Did they fly kites? Did they keep on walking apart? Did they come together and have a kite factory? Or did they slink off to Vegas? Who knows what they did next? Who knows? But the question is here. Today all of us are here establishing how next happens. And how next happens are the people of this city, yourselves included, come together and we create how next happens. The question we're all asking, all of us in this city, is what happens next? In my world, a lot of people have good ideas, good research, they set it out, and guess what? Nothing happens next. Now, for you, I think you have a job to do because you're responsible for what happens next. And the other good thing about this, I think, is, I don't know if you realize this, but I sure do. You have a lot of people that support you, that are willing to help you deal with that question of what happens next. And it's apolitical. It's all about sustaining the well-being of all over the long term. And if the purpose of decisions isn't based on that particular analogy, then there's no point to what we do. It is simple as that. We're finding globally, through UNESCO and the United Nations, that they're looking at reorienting education, training, and research to address sustainability. It has been presented at the United Nations General Assembly that if formal education is not oriented to sustaining the well-being of all over the long term, and when I mean formal, I mean K-12 and post-secondary education, if it's not oriented to sustaining the well-being of all over the long term, there is no point to it. So maybe one of the reasons we're here today, talking about the water master plan and other things like that, is because maybe in the past our education, formal education systems didn't help us move towards that purpose. There's only one purpose in the future, and it's not only in governance, it's also in education, it's also in parenting, it's also in everything we do related to sustaining the well-being of all over the long term. A number of us, through the RCE, which is provincially wide, supported this motion. The other interesting thing is 147 other RCEs, regional centers of expertise around this world, support the same thing. And we're hopefully going to be the fishbowl to show them how on earth they may wish to do it by following our lead. And it's great to be here. It's great to have an audience here as well. And it's great that you all are sustainable people. At least you've sustained yourself through my presentation.
Thank you very much. We'll, for that entertaining presentation, we'll move on to our next